Now, India Post is a strong network of about 1.5 lakh post offices, which is prevalent in every nook and corner of India. It is the largest retail bank in India, again 1.5 lakh branches. It is the second largest employer of Government of India after railways, about 5 lakh employees, and in 2010 and 11 we got the Prime Minister's Award for the new initiatives in the government sector. Government of India is putting a very large outlay on IT in the Department of Post to the tune of about 5 to 6,000 crores only on the IT part of it, and India Post is entering into the electronic market mainly from the e-payment, EMO, IMO and e-commerce etc. And lot of efforts are being put to popularize Speed Post, the brand name for the Express Post which India Post does, as well as now the parcel. Now, these are the major businesses which, so mainly we are in the business of mails, as the Department of Post name itself indicates. Very large our workforce is involved in the financial services in the case of savings bank etc. Very few of the people would know that we do the insurance also. We were the oldest insurance company in India way before LIC or anybody else came in. Then we do philately. Those of you are in the hobby of philately, the collection of stamps. So, we are again very large player in philately. Then we do lot of retail services. Again, some of you who are the old timers, they would know that we used to sell quinine also when malaria was very prevalent in India through our branch post offices in every village. So, that thing we still continue in the social sector, and we do lot of e-services now. So, in the case of financial services, basically as we said, we have about 1.5 lakh outlets, and as on date we have a customer base of about 300 millions with us. That is the number of accounts which we have today. I do not know whether any other bank would have that many number of accounts, and outstanding balance as on date is about 6 lakh crores with us of all publics roughly. Now, various products of financial services would be savings bank, as you are often aware, recurring deposit, time deposit etc., whichever any other bank provides, and except this bank we will have the senior citizen savings scheme and the cash certificates which could be KVP, earlier used to be IVP, and the national savings certificates. Now, postal life insurance we started way back in 1884. Initially it was only for the Department of Post employees, later on it was extended to other government departments, then later on it became PSUs, local bodies, but still it is mainly for government and semi-government employees. About 12 to 13 years back we started the rural postal life insurance, that was only meant for the people staying in the rural areas. That was the only condition, that you have to have the permanent residence in the rural area. Now, these two schemes combined, as on date we have about 2 crore policies which are active policies with us. Basics about philately, I do not know how many of you have heard. Have you heard of commemorative stamps, first day covers etc. etc. So, all these things are done by the Department of Post, and a very high level consultative committee is there which approves which stamps can be published by the Government of India. It can't be just any other stamp, and in 1 year generally Department of Post pushes about 50 to 60 stamps only per year, not more than that. So, these are the commemorative stamps to commemorate a specific event or a very high personality etc. But very limited number of stamps will be issued, and some of the scented stamps, whether you have seen, I do not know, we issue the scented stamps also. First scented stamp was Mysore sandal, where if you rub it you get the smell of a sandal. So, few such stamps, scented stamps also has been issued by the Department of Post. Some of the e-services which we have, one is the e-post, pretty interesting, mainly for the areas where the still digital penetration is not too much. So, in the case of e-post, any article, suppose you want to send a message to any person in the rural area and pretty fast. So, we accept this as a email in any of the post offices, that to the destination post office goes by as a email attachment. There we take a printout and deliver it to the intended customer. So, it can be from the corporate perspective also, or it could be one to one also, both ways. And lot of government departments today, especially in Kerala, Karnataka etc., are using it very extensively to send messages to all sarpanches throughout a state away from your district headquarters or state headquarters, Just give one message, it goes to all post offices, and next day it is at every sarpanch or something. So, it can be very popularly used if you have somewhere you want to use these services. Next is the e-payment. Okay, sorry. Yeah. Next is the e-payment part. Now, again e-payment, again the nomenclature is we do the collection. Since I have 1.5 lakh outlets, so if you want to have the collections from 1.5 lakh outlets and consolidate payment at one place, this is the solution which we offer to everyone. And today lot of bills, like lot of many telecom companies, whether it is BSNL, MTNL and other companies where they want payments to be done, electricity board. So, throughout villages where they want payments to be done, so we collect those payments, give at one place along with the electronic data. So, straight away you can consolidate from server to server. So, that makes it life lot easier for everybody. Now, normal money orders which we used to send earlier, paper money orders, that technology we have changed. Now, no longer paper money orders move. Wherever we accept the money order across the counter, that we convert into a digitized format, goes to destination as a digitized format. Again at the destination we take a printout and deliver to the customer. And IMO is a quicker version of EMO, where instantly within 10 minutes at the destination post office you can receive the money, just like your Western Union and other types of money orders also, purely domestic. In the case of retail services, some of the things, bill collection I have already told you, but so many other types of things we are selling today also for the institutional customers also, like collection of bills, whether it is electricity, telephone. Then we sell, earlier we used to sell kuni etc. Now we sell lot of books which are published by Government of India, National Book Trust. These books are available through the counters, and tomorrow, since this network is there, it can be used by any of the companies who want to sell their products through the vast network of post offices. Like in case of Maharashtra, the Maharashtra State Electricity Board, every month we collect about 4 lakh money orders, 4 lakh payments, bills per month, only in Maharashtra today, roughly. And throughout India, if we say, I mean, we won't have the count exactly, especially for the retail part of it. And similarly, BSNL, again at least 1 to 2 lakh money orders we will collect. This e-payment part we would collect from this. Now, these are the mail services. Some would be standard mail services. You would know postcard, inland letter, letters, aerograms. I don't know, again aerograms, young generation would have forgotten what is aerogram, but yes, aerogram, registration, VP. And VP is a very, very interesting thing. Today we call everything as COD etc., but VP is a old form of COD, value payable post. Only thing was earlier it used travel as a money order. After article gets delivered, that commission would be charged from the customer, come back to the post office, convert into a money order, that money order would come to the post office of origin and payment would be made. This VP concept which was there has been converted into the COD concept today, but that travels electronically. So, VP is a old timer of COD. Then we have a lot of second class, whether it is book post, registered newspapers etc. Every day in Mumbai we get more than 1 lakh registered newspapers, whether they are magazines or publications from different institutions, chartered accountant or all these, they are coming. Every day lakhs of articles get posted and very, very huge concessional rate today. Today also lowest rate is 25 paisa. So, I mean already, so these are the type of rates still which are prevalent for registered newspapers etc. Then we have the value added services. Again, some of the institutional customers knows about the value added services. One is the business post, which we offer to lot of customers, where we do the pre-mailing services for them. That would include the insertion, gumming, franking and then posting. It means you just have to give us the mails, rest everything will be taken care of the Department of Post. We have recently started print also. It means there we have tied up with a printer at all India level, where once you give us the soft copy, we do the printing also. It could be static printing, variable data printing, both. And we are doing this for a lot of customers now, including BSNL, MTNL etc. also. And LIC is approaching us now, can we do the printing for them? Printing and dispatch, everything, for all their notices etc. etc. And in the case of express, It is a speed post, the flagship part of it, and this would include with cash of delivery or without cash on delivery. Both components are there part of it. Speed post you can do for any place in India, whether it is a small village or anywhere.
Cash on delivery as well.
Cash on delivery as on date, I think 3000 pin codes are still missing, but by next month those 3000, that becomes a universal service. Total about 19,000 pin codes roughly. The pin code concept also was introduced by the DOP in 1972. We only divided all India into these pin codes part of it. So these were the initiatives in the last 4 to 5 years which India Post has taken. I will briefly touch upon them. One was the Project Arrow, which was started basically to give visibility to the post offices. Now some of you might have seen standardized post offices now, whether it is GPO, Dadar. In Mumbai at least we have about 40 post offices which are standardized in color, schema, as well as the way services are given across the counters. Second was the mail network optimization project. The way it was done for the post offices, same thing was done for the mail offices. Now mail office as a concept is the aggregator part. From 1.5 lakh post office I can't send to 1.5 lakh post offices. So these becomes the aggregators, mail offices. So these mail offices also we rationalized the numbers there and standardized the way it would operate. Though they were working for the last 150 years, these mail offices, but seeing the changing needs, these were rationalized and standard equipment were provided to them. Then we have setting up the automated mail processing centers. Some of you might have seen in Mumbai also, first automated mail processing center was set up in Mumbai in 1993. So there the articles will automatically move through the conveyor belts, etc., and they would move at the speed of about 30,000 articles per hour. At that time it was not automatic readers were there. At that time person would have to read the address and code and machine would sort it. Latest AMPCs which are coming up in the DOP now, they have the concept of automatic reading also. So it means completely it is do away with the manual component. No manual intervention is required. You just feed the mail, they will read, sort, bundle. So completely end to end part. 2 such machines have already been set up in Delhi and Kolkata. Next 5 machines are going to come in next 5 metros in next couple of years. So they would be in a position to sort about 35,000 articles per hour and about 22 hours a day almost continuously, and no human intervention if mail is standardized. Similar machines are also set up for the speed post articles, where they read the barcode as well as address simultaneously and decide, manifest, record each mail piece which is moving. Again 2 such machines are already in Delhi and Kolkata, and more 5 such machines would come. The new machines which would come would be even able to take small parcels. When I say small parcels, maybe about 4 to 5 kgs also. So they would be able to read, sort, do everything automatically. And last part is the India Post Technology Project, which I mentioned in the first part. Government of India is investing about 5,000 crores only on technology part of India Post. In this 5,000 crores, with this technology project, 6 parts are envisaged. First, normal part is computerizing all the post offices. Second, linking them through a dedicated network, so that always on, whichever area they are there. Third part is setting up our own data centers. Fourth part is building softwares. Now 2 main softwares are being built. One is for the financial services we discussed. It is already being tested now and implemented in about 300 post offices already. By next June we expect it to be rolled out into all 20,000 post offices. This is being built by the Infosys on the same Finacle platform. Next software project which is given is for the all other things, including mails, philately, and all other backroom part of it. That is being built by the TCS. That would take care of this warehousing and all this reverse logistics and all those components part of it. That again today is in testing stage. Fifth part of this project would be the rural hardware. Out of this 1.5 lakh post offices which we have, almost 1.25 lakh or so is in the rural areas. Challenge is to provide connectivity to these 1.25 lakh post offices, and how do we, what type of device we give it to them, so that they can do both works. They can be mobile also and they can do office work also. So that project again the tender has been awarded, and we hope in next 2 years I have a complete network of 1.5 lakh post offices which are always on. Once that network is there, then we can see the implications which would happen in the whole industry. Now, this was the small photograph of the award which was presented to the Department of Post. 2 awards were given, one for e-governance, one for this one. Now, I would come for the main part which you would be, I think, interested in, the e-tailing market in India basically. Now, the growth part which most of you would be getting from the ideas, which is estimated from 25% to 45% year on year. So, see the growth opportunity which are there, and I am limiting ourselves to the e-tailing, not the whole e-commerce business. Within that e-commerce platform, we are limiting ourselves to the e-tailing component of it. And out of these the challenges, huge challenges which are there, I will try to just cover some of them. The first part would be the physical infrastructure. If we are booking a e-commerce article, suppose from a warehouse in Mumbai, and it has to go to a small place in Ladakh, what type of infrastructure would be required? Because tomorrow aspirations are rising of the people, and especially in the rural areas. So, how do we meet those challenges? So, what type of physical infrastructure I would need to create at which level? Should we limit ourselves to district level? Should we go to taluka level? Should I go to below taluka level, panchayat level? So, what type of infrastructure we need to create if we have to satisfy this market? So, those physical infrastructure needs to be created at that level if you have to meet the requirements. Second very crucial part would be the transportation. Till the time this demand is limited, maybe my road transport can cover, but the way e-market is growing, I have a doubt whether only road infrastructure would be able to take care of it, especially when we require that next day should be delivered anywhere. Today, whatever we see, even present infrastructure of air is not sufficient, whichever players are today in the market today. They are not able to cater to the requirement of players which are available today. And once the growth is 25 to 45%, a lot of infrastructure would be required to build on that front, so that logistics and this e-commerce market can move by air to the distant places. Serious limitation on this part, and transportation in gold quadrilateral etc. is okay, but once we go to taluka level and the village level, a serious limitations, very very serious limitations. Once you have to cross the rivers on the boats etc., it is a challenge, that how do we build that infrastructure so that we can move the things. Third very important part will be the electronic infrastructure. Today the way data moves, especially between various players who are today there, they do not have any standards. Each party would bring their own standards, and that would create a problem tomorrow once more and more players come in. So, that would require that how do we do the electronic handshake between players who are in the e-commerce market and in the logistics market, transportation market. Can we come at the common infrastructure, common exchange of digital information? Today still it is in the nascent stage. So, some standard would need to be brought out so that we can combine these strengths of various parts. Once we have the physical infrastructure, what type of delivery network at the last stage we build in, so that each article which is booked can be delivered reliably in whatever 3, 4, 5 days which we think of. And very last important, very important component is security of packages. It covers both parts. Security at the time of its booking, when I say at the time of packing itself, and when it moves through the whole network. Today again this packing is not standardized, and even if the packing is standardized, it is not, I mean, it is not a tier proof type of a packing. Very few players do the tier proof type of a packing. So, lot of chances of pilferage etc. when it is transmitted. So, these are the major challenges and opportunities, and lot of opportunity. Each of these, though it is a challenge, but it provides the opportunity to the each player which is in the market today. Now, as far as India Post is concerned, we offer basically as on date 2 major products for doing this: Speed Post with and without COD. With COD we have introduced now. Earlier Speed Post also we are there from 1986. So, 28 years almost we are operating Speed Post. With cash on delivery component, we have built the electronic infrastructure so that automatically we get the electronic file from the customers, update it, track and trace at each location where the article is handled, accept the payment at the destination from these 1.5 lakh touch points, get that electronically information back and pay to the customer. So, this complete handshake with the e-commerce players is built up now with the order post. Similarly, lot of other players are building the same infrastructure, electronic as well as physical, matching this part. And since Department of Post has the exposure of payments, so getting payment will not be an issue for us, absolutely. Today, I don't know, are you aware of the NREGA payments, the order of magnitude of NREGA payments? NREGA payments today, only the Department of Post all over India, we handle crores of accounts only of NREGA, and the order of magnitude of payment is very, very huge. Taking cash from the bank at district headquarters, moving it to the villages, where one day if 700 people are there and to one person we have to pay 1000 rupees also, see the amount of money which I have to move to the rural areas and in all types of areas. It is Naxal infected area or whatever area. More Naxal infected areas, more money of NREGA, because there no other opportunities are there. So, more challenges from that perspective. So, that experience and that VP part, we have said VP is already there with the Department of Post, we used to collect money. So, that accounting infrastructure as well as the handling money infrastructure, both are available in the DOP. Speed post basically it goes by the air, wherever air connectivity is there. So, wherever time is not too much of a constraint, we offer the business parcel which everything travels by the surface. Then electronic integration I have already told, okay, we are doing electronic integration with the e-tailing companies. End-to-end visibility we are able to provide, again not 100%, I will come to that part. Arrangements we are making now, since some of these are bigger parcels, 4 kg, 5 kg also. So, we are starting the arrangement for mechanized delivery. Instead of manual delivery, we are going for the mechanized delivery, and already we have the all India network and very huge challenge for the return articles. Again, some of the e-commerce players, those who basically book the orders through the TV advertisements etc., return percentage is as high as 50% also. So high return percentage. So, to handle that type of articles back in the same network is itself a challenge. Yeah, these are the standardized tariff for the India Post, already available on the net, anybody can take it. I mean, like other players, we do straight away visible, okay, what is my rate structure. It does not vary upon player to player. And this is the COD component which we have introduced last year, that to get the COD amount, how do we do it today? So, this is the COD part, wherever COD is involved, again available on the website. These are the rates for the business parcels. This is what I was speaking of, the end-to-end tracking information. When we started this mail network optimization project in 2009, we were at 28%. It means only 8% of the articles were having end-to-end tracking, and today we are almost at 95%. It means whatever speed post article is booked, and we do every day book about 10 lakh articles in India. So, all of these 95% articles will have end-to-end tracking, booking at each stage where it has reached and when it is delivered to the customer. Again, today this is the efficiency which we have. It means, again, this is all India basis. It means booked anywhere in India through a network of 20,000 post offices and delivered anywhere in India. So, as on date, if you see, about 60% articles we are able to deliver in about D+2 within 2 days, and rest of this part. Whatever you see D greater than 5, those 8% articles are basically the return articles, which are not accepted by the customer due to whatever reason, wrong address, insufficient address, refused, unclaimed, etc. Rest, this is the efficiency as on date. This we are now trying to increase further, but this is what is as on date today available.